Alright, Lucas here, back with another replay. This one was sent to me by AJTBLS, who's playing on his account Sit Chair. This is a game on the Duel book rated ladder. Both players are hovering around 5th place on the ladder. Main stays in the top 10, and at times at the very top. So, both serious ladder players, and I was told that this would be a good match. It would appear we're playing Warriors against what could be Warriors. Could also be Chaos, of course. Ghostrider is a fan of playing Jar of Greed and such, and I would not be surprised to see them using Solemn Judgment and Trap Dust Shoot in their Chaos Turbo decks. So, what does AJT do here? I guess we just use the Exile Force. Decides to go for the Kaiku. Seems risky. But I mean, maybe we have a read that that's never going to be a Magician of Faith, seeing as they would try to bait us out with something else. I don't know, this is risky. And it is the Faith. Feels bad. This has a set too. Yeah, why not? We're not gonna get destroyed by a heavy storm, and we have the book for the breaker. And Turbo is doing turbo things, and this is already looking very bad. I guess we lead with the Delinquent Duo. We don't want to E-force a Sangan here. Maybe we have the read that it's never a Sangan, but I think we're going to use the Delinquent Duo either way, so might as well lead with that, right? I think that's a slight sequencing error, but I could be wrong. We decide not to Judgment back. Makes sense, we don't want to exchange cards if we don't have to. There's the breaker. Quite awkward because now we don't have any field presence to challenge the set monster with, and we have to rely on the monsters in our hand. So I guess we summon Don Salug and try to run it over. Decides to go for the Dekoichi. You could make a case that Ghostrider is so likely to have Nobleman, and we want to try to blank that this game, seeing as we're so far behind. Which is fair, and in that case the Dekoichi is much more expendable than the Don Salug. And this is a nice spot to try to get some value out of it. So actually, yeah, this is not too bad. Viable line. So we're obviously very far behind, but we're at a low life total, so who knows. I think we should fire off the Graceful here. We could try and wait. We do know that Ghost Rider has the Magician of Faith, so it is likely to be that from our point of view. I think I would fire off the Graceful, see what we find. Graceful is so much better if you have one card along with it in your hand, but sometimes you just gotta fire it off. I'm not convinced that was correct, but I think so. I guess we keep a reinforcement. Judgment is very good in this scenario as well. But if that flip monster, if that Magician of Faith gets to flip, we're just completely destroyed. Yeah, goes for Mystic Swordsman. Says to go for Blade Knight. I don't understand that at all. So we're claiming that they need to get a light so that eventually they can go for a Chaos Monster. But yeah, I think it's so important to just make sure to clear that, especially without using the Judgment. Like, I wouldn't have a Blade Knight in play, and I would not end up with a light in my graveyard here, but yeah, this is a bit weird to me. I guess we are actually threatening lethal damage, so that's definitely a thing. But yeah, there's the Mirror Force. So AGT goes for a gamble there. Can't blame him for that, you're in a rough spot, try to push for game. I would have kept playing conservatively. I'm not sure that's any better, but I think so. But then again, I forget that it's AJT we're talking about. So look, we have a Blade Knight in our graveyard. Then again, I would have had a board presence. So, and is this gonna be game? It's game. So AGT decided against respecting the set card, which I think makes a lot of sense, seeing as there are quite a few cards that would be dead there, specifically the Noblemana Crossout, but also cards like Sharp Dust Shoot and such. Maybe even like Snatch Steal. So we're on the draw now. We somehow won that game, and this shows that even if your opponent does have a crazy opener, shouldn't give up. Because quite frankly, Guts has a lot of variance and a lot of play, and you can win from pretty much any point. Not that it's likely, but it's possible. So lead with the pot. Why are we leading with the MST? I don't understand this. Yeah, I actually. Do we want to hit a judgment? But we're not going to judgment our product read, right? Maybe they are. This is a bit weird to me. Because if that's the Jar of Greed, which Ghostrider is known to be playing, then this is really awful. Hit the Raigeki break, so that's at least a 1-for-1. Decides to go for the Nobleman before the pot. I think that's a bit weird too. So we don't have to play on Chaos. So summon Sangan attack. You could summon Blade Knight. It's kind of nice to see AGT playing Sangan. I think they weren't playing that card before. And they asked me how I felt about it. And now apparently we're giving it a shot. So that's fun to see. Swordsman is just great here. Yeah, this is unfortunate. I'm not sure if we have any better option than to crash, because it's very likely Magician of Faith, seeing as they only banish one to the Nobleman of Crossout. We do believe that they have one in their hand, and we don't want to leave that on the field. So, yeah, here we just have to set the call and pray that we don't lose immediately. Okay, but this is quite playable. So we summon the Blade Knight, right? And we attack a spy. What? I think that's a bit unnecessary, but maybe I'm too passive. So at this point we summon the Warrior Lady. We go for this line. I wouldn't have done that. I think that's a bit too aggressive. I don't understand it. Because we are going to clear one of the spies anyway. So this clears one spy and pushes 1200 points. Which is fine, but I think we can get a better deal later on. Yeah, this is so bad. So, what can we do here? We do have the Blade Knight. That doesn't do anything, so I guess we just summon Exile Force, pop the Chaos Sorcerer, set the Sokka and pray. Yep. Flip the Saku. Summon Blade Knight and swing. I think that was perhaps mistake. Because I do want the Blade Knight to end up in the graveyard. Maybe there's no rush. I mean, I guess here Blade Knight is better. It's marginal though. I guess we know that they have a Magician of Faith still, right? Do we? Yeah. Okay, AJT made the correct play there, holding on to the Blade Knight. And I believe that's also why they went for the Deed War Lady earlier on with the Sangan line to hold on to the Blade Knight, just trying to wait out, not summoning it before there's a set monster so that it can run over the Magician of Faith. So here we go. Let's try it. And we summon BLS and banish the Faith. That turns out to be the Koichi, and now we're a bit sad. Oh, Ghostrider decided one out. Wow, what a god. Because that actually affected our play a lot. Cool. That's a thing you can do. I mean, Faith is a pretty good card, so you could argue against it, but decks nowadays stop playing books, stop playing Metamorphosis, stop playing Scapegoat, and Faith is dead some of the time. Ghostrider makes up for it by playing cards like Upstart Goblin, but that's obviously not an ideal target. Tribe is a good draw. So why do we Dustin Raider right there? Yeah, okay, so we don't lose the ring. So this is something you can do. If you're going to Dustin Raider anyway, do it before you take the damage that would make the Ring of Destruction lethal. Yeah, we just have to go for the trap and pray. Alright. I mean, it's not looking good, but this position is at least somewhat playable. And there's the Mirror Force. Never mind. I mean, okay. Lots of battle traps from Ghostrider. Now we're on the play and we open Graceful. Do we gun it here? I think yes. Especially if we're playing flips. But also we want to find another dust shoot if we can. We found the delinquent though, so it's a bit interesting how to sequence this. You could claim that you should save the delinquent duo until after the dust shoot. I'm personally not sure in these spots. Generally, I save the duo, but I'm not sure that's correct. It's just something I've been experimenting with to delay the duo until after the dust shoot. So it will be fun to see what AGT does. Regarding the Graceful, I guess you get rid of like Suckeret's Armored Tribe. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I agree. Goes for the duo right away. Hmm, okay. The size is set all three. I think that's correct. You could set the Dancelug as well. The player on duo. I think I would. So does rotate BLS, Ring, Upstart, Heavy Storm. We decide to use the Judgment to save our Mirror Force, which makes sense. I'm actually probably a minority, but I'm not so sure that Mirror Force is worth keeping in the deck post side against this Turbo deck. And we drew the Park Read. Alright. So we know that one of us is a ring. I would assume we're going for the Exile Force. Then we're flipping the Dancelug. Which is likely turning for ring here, but could also be another Battle Trap. Oh, we take it. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. We don't have a hand. Nothing to worry about. But it is some pressure. Yeah, it is. I wonder if we can deduce something, seeing as we're not using removal onto the Dawn. Maybe we're just claiming that it's too small to bother. I agree with this nobleman. I don't want to let them accumulate cards to deploy their strong synergies and build up card advantage, eventually running away with the game. Set the Typhoon. So do we Typhoon there? Yeah, I think that's fine. It's not great, but I don't think we're likely going to get significantly better opportunity, so I think this is correct. Okay, I hit the judgment, nice. So here you can see AGT, despite having a judgment, is not extending into Mirror Force or Torrential, as the judgment is more valuable than those cards if we can afford to play around them, which we can. So I decided to go for the Sacred Armor. Here I think we summon the Blade Knight, not to waste our normal summon, seeing as our opponent does not have Chaos available. I think that's quite safe. Could be that we should disguise the information. You can also make a case for playing around Snatch Steal and such. I'm actually not confident we should summon it. AGT decides to do so. And here we just attack. And we're running both Mirror Force and Sacred Armor poolside against Turbo. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Basically, when I play and I side, I try to make sure that I'm very picky regarding cards that do not interact well with a face down monster. And Battle Traps definitely don't. Then again, you could just lose to Tsukumi. So, do we go for the BLS here? We know that we have a ring. Is that an issue? I don't know. They could have a duo. And it's quite clear that we're holding on to a Chaos Monster if we don't play it. Yeah, I think we should cash in the BLS here. Yeah, AGT agrees. Tries for Battle Trap, so still a ring. Rota, what do we get? Goes for Blade Knight. So that's a light. Not that that actually matters. So we just go for Blade Knight because it's the largest body and has a relevant effect against some of Ghostrider's top decks. It's a 2-turn clock. Okay, so there's the ring. So that at least tells us that there's no more Socrates or widespread runes. Most likely, at least. So AGT is debating whether or not to use. No! AGT goes for the Solemn Judgment. This is quite all in. I don't hate it, but seems a bit unnecessary. But I guess Judgment isn't going to. It's not nearly as effective when playing from behind. It's much stronger when you're ahead. And here AGT decides to stay ahead, I guess. But I think these spell traps keep our life total safe. Maybe we could have waited for a more, what do you call it, critical moment. But I mean, it's fine. I'm not sure what's correct there. I would probably let it go, but I'm probably a bit too conservative at times. We go for the MST. So do we flip the Sacred Armor? It's rough. So how much worse is it to be at 1250? Because right now isn't like Breaker lethal, and so is potentially cards like Dust Tornado. and Heavy Storm. But probably we should just flip the Sacred Summer here. Yeah. Yeah, that too. Yeah, feels bad. Yeah, I guess we set it. Don't want them to do it away. It's a bit risky though, because we could top deck a Breaker, but that's a top deck. And a duo, they could have. They could have a duo set. That's very possible. Oh, there's a great draw. I wonder if we have a third Blade Knight in our deck, post side. It appears we do not. It could be that we're playing around that being a Greek Perspire Tomato, but I don't think that's the case. I think we sided one Blade Knight out. This is something you can do against these turbo decks simply because we're not going to have too many great targets to run over, so two Blade Knights is fine. It's still good, it's still great, but maybe that need a third. And we did have a Mirror Force as their last set card. So yeah, this is not looking great. We take that. Now we're gonna go for the snatch. Judgment. Set the call. Alright. They attack. We flip the call. We bring back the BLS. Perfect. They go for the torrential. Both players at sub 1,000 life points, and Ghostrider has one card, and AJT soon is going to have one card as well. And Ghostrider only had the Thunder Dragon. So yeah, here we go. AJT, can you top deck the win? 19 cards in deck right now. Draws the Pot of Greed. So we were actually calculating the odds of AGT missing here yesterday. I didn't watch the replay, but they told me of this moment. But I think they read 19 wrong because they said it was 16, but it was actually 19. So maybe AGT should flip their screen so that we don't confuse a 6 for 9. Anyway, Pot of Greed, obviously a great draw, but AGT misses. And this was apparently absurdly unlikely, seeing as there were a lot of monsters, a premature burial in their deck, and if not those, there were a pair of Sacret's armor, which I think is a bit weird to run Mirror Force and triple Sacret's armor in this matchup. But oh well. So yeah, very unfortunate. But now, if Ghostrider doesn't draw anything relevant, then AGT gets another shot. And Ghostrider does draw the Spy and wins the game. So AGT loses here. And that was great game. I really enjoy this Chaos variant versus Warrior. I think they're very interesting, especially from the Warrior point of view. I've been enjoying Warrior more recently. Been playing a bit. Had some success on ladder. Got my best win streak ever, if I may brag a bit. 21 rated match wins in a row. Maybe I'll upload some match using that deck. Would be a nice title, at least for my ego. Perhaps would get a couple of clips as well. Clicks. Alright, so this is it. Great game from both players. I would love to hear AJT comment on my comments because I think they played well, but we disagreed on a few spots and a few times they proved me wrong. And a few times I'm still a bit confused. Not that it's anything major, but difference in playstyle. We can learn from each other. And thanks to you who's watching this video. Thank you for watching, and please watch my other videos and watch my future videos. I upload every day. I'll see you